Climate tech founders are building products and services to ameliorate a lot of the effects of climate change, right? The question is how much, to what degree, how efficiently, how much better can one innovation affect climate than another? Our job is to really bring visibility to those differences and comparability among them so that we can build and invest in the solutions that are most effective. So when products and services make the world a better place, we help figure out exactly how much. Founders can't build companies if they don't know what the effects of their tech is on the world. And investors are really deferring. They're left to defer really to traditional financial analyses in the absence of any impact analytics, right? So our job is really to make this as lightweight, as accessible, and as valuable as possible for all of the different players involved so that this becomes standard, right? So that this becomes something that everybody must do, is expected to do, and has funding for. When it comes down to it, it's really about change. And we have very limited visibility into the degree to which companies can actually affect change in the world. And so, yeah, that's what we wanted to help folks really understand. So prior to founding Impactable, I led a fund and accelerator for about 10 years. So we sat down with the founders, we asked them very simple questions about their impact, which, by the way, was really the impetus for starting these companies for most of them. And they struggled to answer them. And so that's what we wanted to help them understand and optimize and articulate effectively to all of their stakeholders, but to investors in particular. And so we developed then the scaffolding behind what is now Impactable, sort of back of the napkin style, had no intention of spinning it out. And the founders that used it came back to us and said it helped them break through, win pitch competitions, accelerate their growth, close their rounds. And the investors who saw these analytics came to me and said, we want them from every company in our portfolio. You should really consider building a business around this. Here's some grant funding to get started. Most other products and services like ours tend to focus really just on investors, and they mostly use surveys to collect data. And I think that's what really differentiates us. We're more founder-focused than investor-focused. But we are the only platform that is designed for both, right? Because the truth is that founders and investors and their LPs, they're all in a symbiotic relationship, right? Fundamentally, it's about storytelling and it's about legitimizing impact claims. The other component of what we do is we translate impact into economic value. So we capture cost savings, we capture new value created, right? So when a founder or a team can go to a customer, prospective customer, and say, this is a really expensive problem borne by you and your taxpayers or other third parties, and we can save you the bulk of it, I mean, it's pure gold for them. But on the investor side, we're then able to aggregate analytics across diverse impact portfolios and generate summary analytics, insights that we've never seen before at this scale, like an impact multiple of capital, otherwise known as social return on investment, right? And so we really think that this kind of intelligence is what can elevate the sophistication of impact investing for the first time. Well, we're always designing. You know, whether it's a collaborative project and we get to design what that looks and feels like and ultimately achieves, or whether it's the product interface, right? A new page or a new feature. My job is to build a product and a company around a suite of products that creates as much value as possible for our users. By definition, innovation is design. It's a design of a new product and service and ultimately an experience. When you first start, it's sort of like, it's an idea. It's one interface. And we have now a multi-dimensional product that is quite complex, and any given page or feature can have so many different dimensions to it. And we have more and more users. We have both investors, we have foundations, we have NGOs, we have venture-backed for-profit companies. And so there's just more voices and there's more complexity to navigate. And so really staying focused on value creation for the founders and ultimately like simplicity, right? How can we take something that is rather complex and make it feel and look as simple as possible? My biggest design challenge, I think, has really been internal. It's really been, humility, right? To check what I think I know and believe to be true with the market, so that I don't go about creating something that nobody actually wants or that doesn't create value. Every single design decision we make is about impact. It's about giving these founders the resources they need to scale more efficiently and effectively, and giving investors the insights they need to do their jobs more intelligently. And so I've really relied on folks around me to help maintain some of that discipline. We hope our customers experience delight when they use our platform, both founders and investors alike. We're again bringing visibility to something that's sort of implied, sometimes understood, but this concept, this idea of impact is kind of abstract, and we're able to quantify it. We're able to legitimize it, right? We're able to back it in data and research, sometimes for the first time. Outcomes or results that were sort of anecdotally believed to be true are now backed by evidence. And sometimes our customers are seeing outcomes that they hadn't realized were true at all, right? Climate in particular is a very complex issue. And so one intervention, one innovation can have so many multifaceted outcomes that are both direct and indirect. And we're able to bring visibility to that for the first time. And so, this is pure gold. We'll look really at increased revenue and increased access to capital on the founder side. And when I say capital, I mean impact or values aligned capital. So climate, tech, investors. And then on the investor side, we'll look at returns. Are investors able to outperform or generate above average returns with our analytics? We'll also look at new decisions made on both sides of the table. So one of the things that we do for founders is enable them to build impact models, right? And so they can model their impact if they rolled out a product in the US versus if they rolled out the same product in South Africa or Indonesia, right? They can test different features and functionality to figure out which one will have the greatest impact and create as much value, right? And so we'll look at the number of changed go-to-market or market strategies, and we'll look at the number of investments that were passed on because of our analytics, or that might have been made uniquely because of our analytics as well. When 2030 comes, we will have no idea whether we have achieved the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. We won't. If all of our wildest dreams come true, we will have a central sort of cockpit of intelligence where we can track our collective progress or lack thereof. We can understand, if we need to reduce emissions in a particular country by a certain amount, we can understand exactly which innovations we should invest in at what level in order to reach those goals. We'll have a central source of intelligence to coordinate our efforts around the world and scale the innovations that can make the degree of change that we need. We're not the hero here, it's the climate tech founders that are doing this work. And so our job is really just to bring visibility to the effects of their work. And my eyes light up when they can see the importance and the impact of everything that they do.
One of the things that is so canny about Catherine's product and approach is that it's not about it being an all hands on deck problem. It's that you need to coordinate all those hands on deck. What she does connects really beautifully to the kind of narratives that people need to see and the day-to-day contextual presence of climate technologies that they need to experience.
So true.